I've got 10 fragrances for you that are going to have you smelling amazing this spring. This is all pretty much designer fragrances, mostly at really great prices. Each one of these, with the exception of maybe one or two you could get in like that, $40 to $50 price range, maybe even a little cheaper. So this is a great list and actually pretty affordable. Now, as we get rolling, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. I've got videos coming out like this every couple days. And also remember to give a click to the like button if you like the video. And let me know in the comments, what are your spring amazing fragrances that you just can't wait to wear? Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, this one right here. This one I just pulled out the other day, and I should have been wearing this in the fall, in the winter. I kind of relegated to spring and summer, but this is so very good. This fragrance right here, very inexpensive, and some people actually had this on their best of, I think, 2020 or 21, whenever it was that it came out. It's awesome. This is Coach Platinum. There is something on the bottle here. Maybe it's just scuffed up a little bit. Coach Platinum. This stuff is awesome. This is kind of like a dusty vanilla take on a blue fragrance. Specifically, there's something that will remind you of Dior Sauvage in there, but this vanilla is so very good with a little bit of a powdery touch as well. There's also some pineapple in the opening. So imagine pineapple and vanilla on top of like a Dior Sauvage blue fragrance. That's what you get right here. So very good. Coach Platinum. You really got to check this out if you don't have it yet. Another one that is so very good and so unique. I don't know how they managed to pull this off, but this is very much a spring and summer fragrance with gourmand elements that make it just lights out awesome. This is Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo Casual Life. And so you've got this violet leaf lemon freshness that sort of makes up the bulk of the fragrance, but then you've got that kind of coffee tiramisu vibe that is in the other Uomo fragrances. There might even be a little bit of tonka bean in here. So you've got that lift and that freshness from the violet leaf and the lemon and some other fresh notes, but then that awesome gourmand edge. Such a cool fragrance. I love it. Casual Life in the Uomo line. All right, next up, this is one that got a ton of hype whenever it came out. You don't hear a lot of people talk about it now. Supposedly it's discontinued, but I still see it in department stores. It's still on sale everywhere online. Probably the most expensive fragrance in the video at around $70 at discounters. I'm talking about this beauty right here, 1 Million Lucky. This is another fragrance that's got some kind of ozonic freshness like the last one that I showed you. It does have a touch of violet leaf in here, but then it's got some hazelnut and some sort of, again, rich gourmand sweetness mixing with that kind of fresh ozonic vibe. It smells quite a bit different than Uomo. It just happens to share some characteristics with that one. Awesome flanker of the 1 Million line. Probably the freshest flanker, although I haven't smelled the parfum. I know it's got like a solar notes kind of freshness, but great pickup for spring, 1 Million Lucky. All right, this one is a classic at this point. It's probably the only, well, never mind. There's one more kind of blue fragrance in this video. But this one, every time I go back to it, I think, man, I got to get a bigger bottle. I've got like this 1.3 ounce bottle, and it is one of my favorite blue fragrances, period. I'm talking about one that you know well, Dylan Blue. And so this is one of those Ambroxan Monster Blue fragrances, but it's also got a good woody aromatic vibe, and it's got some incense. So it's got a mix of sweetness, Ambroxan, aromatic woodiness, and an incense that just gives it a little bit of a mysterious vibe and a little bit of kind of a weightiness. Very, very cool fragrance. If you haven't tried it, you really should. You can find it everywhere. Sample it at a department store, Dylan Blue. It's really worth all the hype that it gets. Okay, next up, this one has been called a clone or a sort of a blend of Versace Pour Homme or Versace Signature and Chanel Allure Homme Sport. Those fragrances are similar. The Allure Homme Sport is a little thicker. It's got a little bit of a creamy vibe, a touch more sweetness, whereas the Versace leans a little fresher. This one's right in the middle. It's got a good mix of course, the same base, but also a touch of the sweetness and a touch of that extra freshness. I'm talking, of course, about Missoni Wave. And this one, if you like either of those fragrances, you will absolutely like this one because it's pretty much that same aquatic, fresh citrus in the opening, but then you get that wonderful Chanel Allure Homme Sport sweet kind of creaminess. Very cool fragrance that you can get for around that $40 to $45 price range, Missoni Wave. All right, next up, again, honestly, another one of my very favorite blue fragrances of all time because this one has got a wonderful tonka bean and I think it's orange sweetness, but it's also got a minty aromatic heart. It almost tastes like it has wintergreen or mint in it. I'm talking about Roches L'Homme. And so it is kind of an ambroxan blue fragrance, but that aromatic vibe as well as that tonka bean sweetness, and I think it's orange that you get in the opening. It's mesmerizing. It is, I would say it's an addictive blue fragrance. Every time I wear it, I think, why haven't I been wearing this like once a week? It's really that good. I'm not the only one who thinks so. Roches L'Homme. All right, this next one. This one at this point is a classic, but that means you can get it actually very inexpensive at discounters or even on eBay. But watch out for fakes because eBay is a cesspool of fake fragrances. But if you can get a bottle for around that $50 price range, you need not forget this wonderful fragrance. I'm talking about the original Invictus. It has got a great mix of kind of aquatic freshness. It's got that bay leaf. It's got that aromatic heart, but then it's got that bubblegum sweetness that it's so well known for. Haven't sprayed this one in a little while. I love this fragrance. I love this fragrance. I've got, 6 or 7 fragrances that smell a lot like it. Don't forget about the original Invictus. It's clean. It's sweet. It's an amazing pickup. All right, next up, we've got one that I just picked up last year, and I was surprised that I'd never heard of it before because it is a blue fragrance similar to Dylan Blue or Roches L'Homme, but it's got a fresh iris note that makes it very interesting. It's the kind of iris that is used in, if you've tried the new Jupe Homme Parfum, or even the kind of iris that's used in Le Beau. It's almost like a fruity, bright kind of iris. I'm talking about Dunhill Signature Blue. A blue fragrance with iris. I know Prada did. I think one of the Ocean Flankers has iris in it. But other than that, it's kind of mind-blowing that no other blue fragrances have done that. Taken a noticeable iris note and put it right in a blue fragrance. They did a great job with this one, and you can get it for pretty inexpensive. Dunhill Signature Blue. Or is it Icon Blue? Century Blue. What am I thinking? I'll put the right thing on the screen. It's Century Blue. I'm getting all of my Dunhill fragrances mixed up here. Century Blue. All right, next up. This one has been called the ultimate signature scent. It really is an all year round fragrance, but I think if you had to pick one season that it is absolutely perfect for, it would have to be spring. I'm talking about this one right here, Terra Dermes. Surprisingly compliment magnet, compliment monster. People notice this one. It's basically a woody orange fragrance, and it smells very, very, not just general generic citrus. It smells like an orange with woods and with a slightly earthy or dirty vetiver. So it smells like you were to take a, juicy, bright orange, bust it open, take a little handful of dirt and sort of rub it around. It literally smells like earthy orange, and people love it. I love it. It's perfect for the office, perfect for formal, perfect for jeans and a t-shirt. Terra Dermes, I need to wear this one more. All right, and finally, number 10. This fragrance I've gone through maybe more bottles of than any other fragrance. This one, the EDT and the EDP, which is a very similar flanker. I love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. Just this weekend, I had someone staying with me. This is their signature scent. They were asking me where can they get it cheap or where can they get a clone. I'm talking about Dolce & Gabbana The One. This is basically amber, tobacco, cardamom. That's really all you need to know. It's a little bit powdery, but there's something about the sillage of this fragrance that is magical. I still will catch people's fragrance trail out in a grocery store or in the mall and think, oh man, I know what they're wearing. It's The One. From the first time I smelled it and my wife smelled it, we were both hooked, and I've been wearing it ever since. This is a 7-year bottle of the EDT. It's got like 8-hour performance. Newer bottles are like, 6 or 7 hour performance. I think the 3 or 4 hour performance that some people say is just silly. The EDP, I got a bigger bottle of that, and it is probably more like a 7-hour fragrance across the board. But even if you can't pick up an older bottle, just grab the current formulation. You're going to get a good 6 hours of some of the most amazing smelling, warm, spicy fragrance that's not too sweet, not too spicy, that's perfect for spring. Dolce & Gabbana The One. It's been called the greatest date fragrance of all time. So that's been 10. I love each one of the fragrances in this video, but let me know what are some fragrances you love, especially for spring. Tell me down in the comments. And remember to subscribe if you haven't. Give the video a like. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents. Thanks so much for watching.